What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of MikeMGTV, and this is going to be like a different video. I've never had to do this before for a bar rescue episode, and I felt like I wanted to. This is something that I want to do. Might not be as crazy edited. It's going to be more of a conversation, but everybody was very interested in that episode, and so was I. I was invested. So this might just be more of a conversation. But I wanted to explain a lot of things that were going on in that video and what happened after. Mainly what happened after, because apparently the drama continued because Brandon from the gay bar rescue episode Play Janet Jackson posted an email that caused, not an email, posted something, I think it was on his Facebook page, about the real tea that went down during the episode, like he exposed them. So I wanted to clear some things up because I think there's a lot of truths in this post. But I also think there's a lot of things I need to clear up. I think this is somebody who had one experience in reality TV and doesn't understand how it works. So since I do reality TV and I'm a bartender, I wanted to dive deeper into this, pun intended, and explain some things that maybe you didn't know about. So this isn't going to be a crazy edited video. It's going to be more of a conversation. But I thought it might be a fun conversation. This is something we don't really do on this channel. And you know what? I have been pumping out good content recently. I have worked on so many projects coming up soon, and I thought that this was something that was more chill, and it's something that I wanted to do with you guys. So guess what? It's my channel. I'm gonna do it. I look like a farmer. I look like a farmer right now. I just look like I haven't showered and I'm a mess. Anyway. So I guess this is like bartender explains, bartender reacts to bar rescue. I don't know. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna read down this post, and I'm going to explain it and talk about it with you guys as I go down, because I think it's very interesting. I actually got this because Jordan Rose commented this in my video, and I thought it was very interesting. So interesting that I thought that you guys would find it just as interesting if you didn't already know it. Because apparently Piranha is right by where this G-word bar used to be. I'm not going to say it. I'm still not going to say it because a lot of you guys agreed with me that it was insensitive, whether it was for the right reasons or not. So, you know, I'm just not going to say it. So I'm just going to read down this. I'm not really going to edit this a lot. I just want to talk. I just want to talk about this post because I found it interesting, so let's get into it. All right, it's press statement time to answer the bajillion text and Facebook messages. The show Bar Rescue was a sham. They provided nothing they said they would or that they insinuated that they had on TV. I don't understand. What did they not give you that they've insinuated on TV? They come in, they tell you what's wrong with your bar, what you guys are doing wrong, and they fix up the interior a little bit. What did you think that they were going to do? Like, what did you expect? And if you were told something that is different, then I'm going to also say shame on you for not knowing the show. Why would you agree to be part of a show that has many seasons before you're part of it and think that you were going to get anything different? You know exactly what was going to happen, and it's a TV show. And I will say, though, that shows don't always give you exactly what they say they were going to. I've signed 5-season contract deals. Didn't mean I got it. Prize money. Look at Drag Race. Evie Oddly said they didn't get their prize money till like a year after they won the show. So I don't really understand that statement. So I'm going to call that out. The stress test was the biggest bullshit ever. You all know I can bartend. They yelled at everyone to be mean and scream out 5 drinks at a time because they were free. It was a stress test. It was a stress test. You might be able to bartend, but you can bartend better. They proved that. They proved that in their show. It wasn't a sham. You can bartend, but there's things that you can do better. So far, this post is just bitchy. This post is just bitching and complaining. The drinks were complicated, and the recipes provided in an hour. And the recipes were provided an hour before filming. It's a stress test. It's not a you're going to succeed in this test. It's supposed to be difficult. It was not a realistic test. It was a stress test! Jesus fucking Christ. The new drinks they wanted us to make would never be made in any nightclub. I say that all the time. He's absolutely right. It is a stress test. But these drinks that they expect you to make on the show are overly complicated in a nightclub. That's why when I first started working at a nightclub, I did that strategically because I didn't really know how to bartend. I was making vodka soda, rum and coke, gin and tonic. I wasn't making crazy intricate cocktails or signature drinks. I talk shit about that all the time. That's what I post. That's what I talk about in these bar reaction videos. They told us all to be dramatic and bitchy for the show. They also encouraged Paul to be that way, thinking that they were going to actually remodel the bar. That makes no sense. They did remodel the bar, from what I could tell. Well, they remodeled the interior. They didn't really gut the whole place. I've seen them do that for other bars, but not for this place, which kind of raises an eyebrow. But I want to talk about this. Like, they told us to be that way. They told us to be bitchy. They're making a show. Like, you have to do your job. They have to do their job, but you don't have to act that way. No one's forcing you to be a different way. That's your fault for falling for it. I'm sorry, you fell into the reality TV trap. Producers tell me to do crazy shit all the time, but you're in control of your own emotions. They tell you before you go on reality TV, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Producers are there to produce. Producers are there to make you be dramatic and bitchy to make a good TV show. You're the one who did it. And Paul, that behavior, you want to tell me that he thought that behavior would go over well? And he did that so they would remodel the bar? They were already going to remodel the bar. So I'm not excusing his behavior because the producers told you to be dramatic and bitchy. Go fuck yourself. That's complete bullshit. That's not taking accountability for your own actions. You're embarrassed on how everything was portrayed on the show, and now you're trying to blame it on production, which is a cop-out. It's a cop-out. You can't blame it on the edit, bitch. You said and did all those things. RuPaul said it, and it's tea. All they did was some furniture, carpet on the dance floor, changed a few lights, and painted and added some fabric. The back bar was left untouched. There was no new stage like they said they would do. No new equipment. Everything we said that was wrong with the place was never touched. I can see why that is infuriating. That, I will agree, is fucked up on Bar Rescue's part. I think I've seen Bar Rescue fix up the equipment behind the bar in other episodes. I think Bar Rescue spent most of the budget available on the interior. I think everybody needs to remember that a TV production has an allotted budget for each project. Okay? So the interior of that place needed a complete remodel. And I will say, we all can talk shit all we want. It wasn't perfect, but it was one of the biggest remodel interior changes that I've ever seen on Bar Rescue. Whether you liked everything about it or not. That's just a fact. And I think that's where most of the budget went. I don't think there was much more left to go into fixing everything behind the bar and everything else. I also want to point out that they could have told you what was wrong with the bar, and that part you could have changed. The bar owner could have changed. These are all changes. This is no accountability. And that's what I want to talk about, because everybody's like, oh my god, Bar Rescue's a sham, reality TV is fake. No, it's not. I'm explaining where this is coming from so that if you ever do a reality TV project, you understand what exactly is gonna fucking happen. It was all made pretty for camera shots. Yes. Do you not know? Of course! Have you ever seen something in real life opposed to reality TV? It's never as glamorous. It's always shit. Look at that new Schwartz and Sandy's place. It's at a strip mall. It's on Vanderpump Rules. It's at a fucking strip mall next to a pet center. But it's on TV. Of course they're gonna make it look nice. You think the Oscars, you think Hollywood is nice? Hollywood is one of the most disgusting parts of LA, if not the grossest part. What they do is they literally block off the sides of the streets and they power wash the sidewalk and make everything look fancy for like the Oscars, the Grammys, or whatever the fuck is going on. But everything around it is shit. It's crack central. Mama, it's disgusting. This is TV. This is Hollywood. It's an idea, not a place. So we have to zhuzh it up. It's like Facetune in real life. Paul was told to fire me by the show 5 minutes before the reveal, expecting that I would scream and yell and create a scene. I did not. Okay, mama, let's talk about this. I don't believe that John came up with that. I think that definitely was instigated by production because they thought you would probably do all those things. But it was all Paul's decision also to go ahead and do it. No one is forcing you to do anything on these reality shows. That doesn't happen. It could be asked of you. It could be, people have threatened me on reality shows not to say things or to do things. They said, people have threatened me with lawsuits if I told anybody secrets on reality TV. People have told me I was going to get kicked off shows if I didn't do what they said. You have a choice whether or not you want to let yourself be produced. Sometimes I let myself be produced and then it's like a shit show, but I know it's for the good of the show. Other things I have not done, okay? I call out, listen, even when I got fired on Lohan Beach Club, I asked if it was okay if I took my pants off. And that whole scene, I asked if that was okay, and I was told it was. And it wasn't. You know what? But at the end of the day, it was my fault for doing it. I did it. I did it. Nobody made me do it. Nobody forced me. It was my fault. So I'm gonna point out that this is, again, just gaslighting. It's not taking accountability for your own actions. I also think this is something that Paul completely was not, oh my God, rest in peace, was not taking accountability for, because he probably deeply regretted how he was portrayed on the show and regretted his actions, and now was just trying to cover his own ass. I don't think that would be uncharacteristic of him from what I saw. I also did not know it was coming. I was so tired from being in school all day and then running to film until 2 or 3 a.m. So when I said I was tired, it wasn't because I had an attitude. It was because I had been going from 7:30 a.m. and it was midnight when we filmed. That stress test. Bitch. Yes, bartenders are tired. I don't want to hear it. This is all an excuse. This is all an excuse, and this is why I'm making this video. It really irked me. This post really irked me. Because there's no accountability here. When I started bartending, I would literally get up at 5 a.m., take a train 2 hours into the city, after a train to Hoboken to the city, and then walk several blocks to work. I would work from 8:30 in the morning to 5 p.m. I would go have dinner. I would start my bar shift at 8 p.m. and I would go till 5 a.m., which is when the bars closed in New York City. And then I would go to the pass station, take a train home, and not get home until 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m. the next day. That's over 24 hours straight, bitch. And I was doing it for $300. Okay, so I don't want to hear I was tired. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, good bartender that everybody knows about. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Bullshit. I'm calling out bullshit. Paul was not ungrateful like they portrayed in the ending. He was actually upset because he thought firing me was wrong, and he didn't like that everything promised for the G word was not there when they revealed it. What did they promise? What did you expect? I don't understand. He's saying what they didn't give what they promised. What did they not deliver that they promised? Did you think you were gonna get a whole bar makeover? You did it. It was interior, and I'm gonna tell you it was probably because of budget. And I don't believe that Paul was upset because he didn't believe firing was the right thing to do. I think you are trying to spin a narrative. Brendan, I'm talking to him right now. I think he's trying to spin a narrative that he was never meant to get fired. This is covering his own ass to make himself look better. Also cover Paul's image because he's probably embarrassed. And honestly, Paul probably told him this after filming. Paul fired you. It was his choice. It was his choice to go ahead and do that, whether it was production's idea or not. He did it, okay? He fucking did it. And this is all just bullshit. Bullshit. And that's why he left. No, it's not. He wasn't happy with what he got. He wasn't happy that the budget was spent on fixing the interior instead of stuff behind the bar, because you know what? This interior, he probably would have left. He wanted them to pay for the things behind the bar that he would have to pay for. So Paul is mad that he didn't have to do the things that he had to do. Do we understand? This is my personal opinion. This is what I got from the show. Then again, I wasn't there. I don't know what they told you. But if you're gonna do reality TV, you gotta do your homework. It's one thing if you go on a show that has never been done before. Okay, then you're going in blind, and I could understand why you might not know what you're getting into. But I'm not going into the fucking Big Brother house thinking we're all gonna get along and no one's gonna backstab each other. I'm not gonna come out and be like, they told me they would have my back, and then they lied because production told them that it would make a really good show if they backdoored me. You wouldn't do that. I wish they would have shown the entire lighted sign behind the bar that they put up. It said "Gay Old Time." Paul told them that it wasn't wise for them to show that because it insulted the LGBT community. Let's talk about this. Is that somewhat patronizing and silly? Yes. Would I be shocked to see a sign that said "Gay Old Time" in a bar? No. So I could assume why straight people would think we would like that. I could also see why many of us would find that patronizing and silly. I think there's a little bit too much drama being placed on this sign. I saw this sign. It's on Google. It says "Gay Old Time." I'm not offended by a sign that says "Gay Old Time" in a gay bar. Okay? There's gay porn playing in some gay bars here. I don't want to hear it. You guys know I call out Bar Rescue when it's bullshit. And I defend the bartenders when they need to be defended. And I call out them when they're doing shitty bartending. I explain everything. This is a different kind of bartender reacts thing. This is more reality TV person reacts to a reality TV show. They didn't put it in the show because you told them that it would be offensive. So they cut it out. They assumed that you would like it, and you didn't. That's not foreign to me. On Lohan Beach Club, they would put me with just another gay and expect me to hook up with them or something. Like when they brought in Nathan and Sophie, I don't know if any of you guys know this or have seen it, but they brought in another gay reality person named Nathan and expected me to like hook up with him and have sex with him, and they were producing him very heavily to flirt with me. However, I didn't want to. So guess what? I didn't do it. That was also a little bit offensive, thinking that I would just hook up with another person there because they were gay. Producers, even gay producers, do not always know how to produce queer people. Because you have to produce queer people differently than you would produce straight people. They flew in my friend Alex, and when we were going to pick him up, he had a boyfriend back home. So they asked me, "Are you going to make out with Alex?" I said, "Probably." They said, "But he has a boyfriend back home. Is that going to cause some drama?" I said, "No." And they said, "What do you mean no?" That's the whole reason Alex and I were on that show. They thought that me and Alex were going to have some kind of love triangle, and that we were going to have some kind of love blossom, and that there was going to be drama between him and his boyfriend back home. That's what they thought was going to happen. Alex and his partner have their own relationship dynamic. Okay, I personally knew that. I've been with them previously before the show. We said that. I don't think they know how queer relationships work, how dynamic they can be. So when I said they're not going to get mad, it's not going to be a thing, and it wasn't a thing, the producers were furious that they didn't get what they wanted. Because I'm like, Alex isn't going to be mad. They were like, well, why isn't his boyfriend going to be mad? I'm like, if his boyfriend was here, I'd hook up with his boyfriend. And Alex wouldn't be mad about it. I'm sorry, that's just how they are. Some people are monogamous, some people are not. Some people have their own relationship patterns worked out. The producers had no idea that that was going to happen. On X on the Beach, that Let's Be Open storyline, Aris, they ended up going with the story that I was cheating on Aris, even though I told her exactly what I was going to do with her, do the open thing, because they didn't know how to produce that storyline. They were like, okay, so this person is going to be on X on the Beach, and he's going to be allowed to hook up in front of the person, and they're going to have to be okay with it. That's how are we going to, oh my God. Like, they had no idea what the fuck that they were going to do. The only show I've been on so far that knew how to produce me was All Star Shore. Because I wasn't the gay one necessarily. I knew that it was my job to go in there and give them what they wanted. So they got that makeout scene with me and the other gay one. Ricardo! I love Ricardo. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Ricardo. Me and Ricardo made out. And they were like, oh my God, so like you and Ricardo, are you guys like a thing? I'm like, no. I was drunk and he was there. So I'm not surprised that producers don't know how to produce a queer show. Well, a queer segment of their show. That's why I feel like, I said it, I wish there was a gay person fixing the bar, not a straight woman coming in. This is why I make these comments. This is where all this is coming from. The producers orchestrated the whole thing, and don't get me started on how much was edited, playing a huge role. Okay, bitch, stop blaming the edit. If you don't, you have to know how you're gonna be, like, don't say something if you don't want it to be in there. That redemption that you have might not be in there. It's this line that gets me. The producers orchestrated the whole thing for TV. So the producers did their job. How dare they? Reality TV is a double-edged sword. That's why people either sink or swim. You have to know how easily you're manipulated. And I'm sorry that you were all very easily manipulated. It happens to me sometimes. My first time around, I had no idea what was going on. I was just as pissed. You guys have heard me bitch and complain about Lohan Beach Club for years! For years! Because I was new. Going into X on the Beach, I knew I was going to be the villain. I knew it. That was my plan. I was like, oh, a white muscly man going in with a black trans supermodel. I wonder how this is going to be perceived. I knew I was the villain. I let that happen. I leaned in. And it's something that you got to be okay with. And if you're not, don't do reality TV. If you're not willing to look bad, don't do reality TV. There's a million great things that can come from it. You got a bunch of great things that came out for being on this show. Exposure, they fixed what they could, allotted by the budget, and you're just mad because you can't deal with the negatives of it. You never leave a reality show completely unscathed unless you're Sasha fucking Colby. Paul did give me money that helped me out for 2 months and an apology after filming. That I love. I think what happened to Paul is very sad. I don't know why he passed away. For whatever reason, it still breaks my heart, and it's sad that that happened. That's why I pointed out in the video that I think he right away should have gone and gotten help. I don't know if that attributed to why he passed away. I'm not going to assume anything. I think that certain people should not be on reality TV. I think that the psych test should be much more strict for reality TV. I think that when people are struggling with things like alcoholism, substance abuse, and things like that, they should not be on reality TV. And that's why when I see this on Bar Rescue, it's the one thing about Bar Rescue I really, really don't like. I see these people with problems. And I empathize with that because I've struggled with that. And it sometimes gets exacerbated when it's portrayed to the world. But I think you have to personally know if you can handle that. And I also think there should be more responsibility placed on a production team for casting people that are going through these things. And that when you see it happening, you don't milk it. If you're producing a show and someone is struggling, like I could tell that man Paul was, when I hear they're $2 million in debt and he can't stop drinking, I don't see, entertaining. I see a human with a problem. This isn't drama. I'm also very happy that he gave him 2 months' pay to help him get back on his feet. I think that was an apology from Paul. I think that's him in some way admitting feeling guilty and admitting that he was wrong. But also at the same time, wasn't taking full accountability. I will admit he was crazy at times, but the show was a lie. Holy shit. The show was not a lie. The show was dramatized for TV. Reality TV is not scripted like everybody thinks. It's produced. It's altered reality. I hate when people are like, they filmed them walking up to a house 5 times. They were doing that so they can get different angles. Everything you say and everything you do is real. It might not normally happen in your real life. Like, say I hate Bethy Johnson. I would just never fucking talk to Bethy Johnson. But in reality TV world, me and Bethy Johnson are stuck in the same house and we can't leave for 5 weeks. In reality TV world, I gotta go get lunch and sit down for an hour and a half with Bethy Johnson. Because guess what? It's my job. But everything I do and say while I'm sitting down with Bethy Johnson, while I'm in that house with Bethy Johnson, is real. No one's feeding me lines. No one's being like, hey, can you walk in and here's a script for what to say. No one's doing that. They'll be like, hey, this is the scene we're trying to get. They'll try to lead you there, being like, hey, Mike, you had this altercation last night with so-and-so. Can you go talk to them outside real quick so we can get that? Sure. Got it. But everything you do and say is reality. Sorry. It is dramatized. Everything is dramatized. Reality TV is not scripted. It is produced. It is altered reality. Reality TV is altered reality. It's not real life because real life isn't as interesting. Everybody's like, you must be so crazy because you're on reality TV. I don't get off that fucking couch unless I necessarily have to. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it has to be that way. There's a reason they take away your phones. There's a reason that you can't listen to music. There's a reason you can't leave a house once you're inside. There's a reason all these things are happening, to force something to happen. Because if you don't force something to happen, sometimes nothing will happen. And they have to do a job. And I think that needs to be something that we talk about more, instead of just being like, it was bullshit, they did this and this. Sometimes they are wrong. And I will call out production when they are wrong. I will also call out bullshit when people on reality TV are wrong. And I just wanted to bitch about this for a little bit because it bothered me. This whole thing, like I saw that post and I was still reeling from the episode. And you guys seem to be really intrigued by it. And I wanted to know more that happened. So I was like diving deeper into the drama. So I just wanted to talk about this. I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about this. This is my YouTube channel and I wanted to do it today. What do you guys think about this whole thing? What do you guys think about everything I just said? Let me know in the comments. I need to hear your thoughts on this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe for future videos. I put them out weekly, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but sometimes I'm late, just like your mom. Don't forget that I'm switching over my Patreon to channel memberships here on this channel. There's the patrons tour. I'm going on tour. There's the patrons tier, there's the regulars tier, and there's the barfly tier. Be sure to check that out and join the community here because I plan on rolling out a bunch of fun stuff within the upcoming month. Special shout out to this person over on Twitter. If you would like a special shout out in one of my videos, be sure to retweet them when they come out. And if that is it, guys, thank you for just chilling with me today. Today's a very special day for me. I'm taking a little bit of a break. That's why I want to do this. You guys have been letting me pump out these reaction videos and the channel is growing and everything's going great. And I'm taking better care of myself. And I just wanted a nice little cozy Friday. So I hope you're all having a great day. My name is MikeMGTV, and you are fucking welcome. Goodbye.